So that was this week in fail. There was nothing else that failed this week.
Well, there was one thing that really failed this week.
Now, see, did you get that segue?
That was a good segue. That was a good segue.
That was beautiful. The biggest fail leading up. All this was leading up to the biggest fail of the week, the biggest fail of the year, the biggest fail of how many months has it been that these Republicans and Democrats...
I think since August, so about 3 or 4 months.
The ultimate power grab, super Congress, designated to find $1 trillion in cuts over 10 years. Not even real cuts. They could have been progressive cuts over money that was budgeted for the next 10 years. They could have reached out 10 years and taken out money. Couldn't do it. Couldn't come to terms.
My question is were they ever going to have a debt deal done, or was this just posturing and more, oh, we're trying to work and trying to figure out a way to make both sides happy, but in reality, I think they just wanted to cut this $2 trillion through the automatic debt cuts. So
that was the plan all along, that Obama already said, well, if they can't come to terms, I've already got the plan, and we're going to go with mine. We're going to do automatic cuts that I say, and nobody can veto it because, well, you had your chance, even though you didn't have your chance because I also dictated which 6 people were going to go into the Super Congress.
Yeah. Sounds like he's definitely walking that line of totalitarian, dictator, and president.
Very Johnny Cash of him, walking that line.
He is. So the automatic cuts consist of a 10% cut of defense, which is $454 billion. Congress spending 5.5% of that, which is $294 billion.
And we're talking over the next 10 years. This is nothing.
And 2% of Medicare spending, which is $123 billion. The divide is mainly over the Democrats want tax rate increases, and the Republicans want entitlement spending cuts. So the Democrats say, oh, you can't cut entitlements, and the Republicans say, oh, you can't raise taxes. So they're caught in this
It's also pro wrestling. These people that have their cookie cutter beliefs and their platforms,
their talking points.
It's all just, I'm a Democrat, so that's it. I think that we should raise taxes on the rich. I'm a Republican, so I think we need no abortion. We need sanctity of marriage. And
no Social Security. No Medicare.
Yeah, and don't raise taxes.
Yeah. So that's the main issue that's not letting this go through. Unfortunately, we'll be the ones paying the price, I'm sure. Democrat Murray, this guy Murray of
America.
Of America, yes, he's a congressman. He's a senator from Washington.
Congressman,
Patty
Senator Murray.
Patty Murray. Since it's a woman, I'm sorry for saying it.
He is Congressman, Senator, Miss Murray.
Yes.
How many?
She said, "My country is more important. This pile of bills is not going to go away. The challenges that we have is not going to disappear." So
just like a never mind.
Yeah, Murray was also harsh towards Republicans, saying that they took a pledge not to raise taxes, and they pledged to the lobbyists, Americans for Tax Reform. So she's doing all kinds of calling out the Republicans for all this bullshit.
Now, is she a Democrat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how strange that she would do that.
I know, it is strange. The Republicans wouldn't even touch the Bush-era tax cuts. They said that, no, we're not going to pull those back. We're going to keep those in place, even though since those cuts happened, the economy has gone through the shithole.
So what say they about the Ron Paul, in my first year, I will cut $1 trillion immediately plan? Oh, let's not even
Who's talking about that? Who's talking about that?
Oh, only...
I mean, I'm talking about Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, Herman Cain. I mean, those are the real Republican nominees for presidency.
Yeah. My Republican nominees go out and do drunk interviews or drunk speeches, and
I think it's pilled up speeches, right?
Now, it was very funny on this latest debate, the Iowa debate, the extremely right-wing pandering Christian. Everybody, tell me how much you hate gay people, how much you love Jesus debate. Rick Perry, actually the funniest part of the debate was Rick Perry, when Ron Paul was discussing, his cuts, He mentions the Department of Repair. He jumps in, and the Department of Energy.
He's still on that. He's still on that joke or whatever.
He had to let you know that he finally remembered. It only took 2 weeks, but he finally remembered the third department that he would get rid of. So
does he think messing up that moment that gives him credibility with the voters and bringing it up every 2 seconds is like a good way to win over fans?
Listen, George Bush was a complete retard, and he got himself not only elected but reelected.
So he thinks people connect with the retards?
I think Middle America Christian right wingers really, it speaks to them when you're a complete retard.
Right. Like to their soul, like who they are, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They go, man, I see myself in this guy.
Definitely.
I love Jesus. I hate gay people, and I can't remember the third thing that I am. I can't remember. Whoops.
No, I apologize for using the word retarded. This is definitely a PC family friendly show.
I'm sorry.
I myself am a retard, so I know how difficult it is to hear that. So I do apologize. I don't mean any offense by saying that.
Wow. Have you ever tried to gurgle beer? I just tried it. It didn't work very well.
No. So Gingrich, speaking of the that debate or town hall type open forum type meeting in that church, I heard he had some pretty shocking statements regarding the Occupy movement. He said they need to. He said that they feel like they're entitled to everything, right? They're entitled to the food, the space, the
they
bathrooms,
go out to this park that they didn't pay for, even though the people who own the park said that they could be there. But it is true. Okay, they do.
And it's a public park, so I think the taxpayer dollars pay for it.
I don't think these people are necessarily saying that they're entitled to it. I think they're saying we're taking it no matter what.
Yeah. You've taken my pensions. You've taken my employment. So.
You've taken Gerald Stellente's 6-figure gold futures holdings. You know, like.
So I'm gonna take something back, right?
You've taken.
And just a bathroom in the park. Come on.
Now, who hasn't shit on a police car every now and then?
That was a operative, I think, by the man. I think he sent that guy out there.
I saw this video over in London. Students protesting peacefully. And this guy caught very perfectly on camera 2 plainclothes officers standing next to all the orange or yellowed up, police officers standing there
with the bobby hats and
they're all protecting. They're all not really protecting. They're standing next to these 2 plainclothes officers. They look at each other when the moment's right. They rush off into the crowd. The first guy they run into just hooks his arm, spins him around, just trying to agitate people. And then the guy looks at him like he's gonna swing at him. And then they just run into the crowd. Pissing people off. They're just doing all this. And the guy follows them through the crowd and then gets around the corner and there's another police barricade. Not only had these 2 guys already jumped over the barricade, but there were 2 other plainclothes officers that then jumped the barricade and they all jumped on top of one guy. There was like 8 cops on one guy. They arrest him and get him out of there. So that's really what they're that's really what they're up to.
Speaking of police,
that's what Michael Bloomberg wants here. He wants to agitate people. He wants
to... Was he happy to see those UC Davis police security pepper spraying those protesters who were just locked in arms with each other? They said that the use of force is standard procedure.
Show me one other time that procedure was ever taken.
You have to get a big old bottle of pepper spray and spray people in the eyes.
That's our standard procedure for Occupy students.
That
have never existed before. Anytime somebody, listen, it is standard operating procedure for anybody who thinks that they have a constitutional right to protest. Are you kidding me?
What's the Constitution?
You think you're gonna exercise your First Amendment rights here, motherfucker?
No,
you're gonna get pepper sprayed.
They're in control. You're not in control. They'll do whatever the fuck they want. They said that whenever you start picking up human bodies, you risk hurting them. Bodies don't have handles on them, is what he said.
Who said that? The police?
The police chief, yeah.
They do have handles. They've got arms.
It's former Baltimore Police Department lieutenant who wrote the department's use of force guidelines. He said the pepper spray is a compliance tool, so obviously those people weren't complying, so they deserved to be pepper sprayed.
Yes.
These year they also pepper sprayed a 90-year-old woman in Seattle this past weekend.
I did see that. She looked like she had boogers all over her face. What'd they spray all over her?
I think it was cum, right? Does cum get out pepper spray? Is that what they say?
So they just made a big bukkake circle around her and helped her ease her pain. Yeah, it's a sad picture to see, but
84-year-old woman, I'm sorry. And
Grandma needs to comply.
But come on, dear. Seattle's mayor apologized for the brute force.
Did you see back at the, what is it, UC Davis, what did you say? The college campus, did you see their chancellor walking out?
Yeah.
And everybody gave her the silent treatment. It's like my wife when I'm in trouble, you just get the silent treatment. That's when you know that you really fucked up, and the chancellor's walking down, and everybody just goes...
And she was out there saying, she agreed with the protesters. It was despicable what the cops did. And, the protesters are calling for this girl to be kicked out. They think she should be fired.
I think she should be fired just for having a British accent.
Oh, she's British?
Yep.
This is America, damn it.
Exactly. Chancellor, are you sorry for what I spoke to this weekend, and I was what?
Didn't we get their sorry asses out in 77?
What's up with Chancellor? Chancellor?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to superintendent or principal?
Yeah. These colleges, they think they're all high and mighty.
Jesus.
So yeah, this is more proof that the world is fucked. Go, go, go!